All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 289. Today on the show, they assassinated Charlie Kirk. We're going to tell you what led to this, the reaction from the right, the left, and the media, and what the most compelling theories are. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 289, ranked the best news podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Rhetoric and RATBOY.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, our country just witnessed Donald Trump overcome political persecution, an assassination attempt, and the entire deep state in order to regain the presidency in a historic victory. There's one secret ingredient that allowed Trump to do all of this, and that is testosterone. What most people don't realize is testosterone makes men willing and eager to take on challenges, but sadly, too many of us have lost our fight, and that's exactly how the globalists want us. They want us weak, out of shape, and full of microplastics and estrogen with low T. That's why we've decided to partner with CHOQ. CHOQ offers a whole lineup of products formulated to increase your energy, focus, detoxify your body, and clinically studied boost your testosterone. Ingredients in the CHOQ Male Vitality Stack have been clinically studied to boost free testosterone by 87% in just 21 days. Unlike the gimmicky vegetable pills or powder, you will feel the difference, and they have the clinical studies to back it up. And right now, you can get 25% off of your CHOQ subscription for life. Just go to CHOQ.com, CHOQ.com, and use promo code Fleccas. And the best part, you can cancel easily at any time. CHOQ is made in America, and their all-American customer service team is standing by and ready to assist you. Let's make male vitality great again. Get your CHOQ today. CHOQ.com is the website, promo code Fleccas, and you could also call them at 50-CHOQ-3000. Everything is linked in the description. Thank you to CHOQ for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to CHOQ for sponsoring.
Thank you, CHOQ.
All right, guys, tough episode.
Bad circumstances.
Very bad, but you still have to show up and do the show. Obviously, Charlie Kirk has been assassinated a few days ago. Absolutely insane footage out of Utah. We're going to get right into it. We have a bunch of clips when it comes to what led to this, the reaction from the right and the left and the media. And also, we have some compelling theories. As of now, the shooter is still at large.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with that. This is the picture that was released by the FBI of what this guy looks like.
Skinny, young, interesting poses, interesting stance there from what we've seen. They say there's video as well, which we haven't seen, hasn't been released.
And there was a little bit of an analysis on these pictures. Can you give that a read?
Yeah, from Peachy Keenan. She said knee pads under his jeans, hands clenched so he doesn't touch the handrail and leave fingerprints, carrying the gun in pieces, able to assemble it quickly without detection. Knew the campus, knew where he was going, purposeful.
Yeah, and the fact that he was able to get away is the crazy part to me. Mm-hmm. And they also arrested two people who, one of them at least kind of confessed to doing it. They thought he was the suspect, and it was actually a decoy. It was like a bait and switch situation, which kind of makes me think it was a professional job.
It gets conspiratorial really quick when someone is arrested and saying, I have the right to remain silent, and then shoot me, was on camera. Are we going to play that video later in your schizo theories? Or
we're not going to play it, but we do have the picture of the guy being arrested behind us. And then we have a picture of the rifle as well. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into the theories and what exactly happened. Some people say it's a pro-hit job because of the distance and the location of where the bullet entered. Some people say that gun doesn't look like a pro shooter's gun, and it's not necessarily, evidence that it was a pro hit.
Yeah, and, we're not really exactly gun experts. Well, I'm not at least, but hearing some competing news on whether or not 200 yards is an impressive shot. Mm-hmm. Some hunters are like, you do that all day, but it's a 1-for-1 shot, direct hit, weird-looking gun. It's just kind of a cloud of mystery right now, a little bit. And it's leading to some conspiratorial thoughts in your brain, I'm sure.
Yes, it absolutely is. And we have a picture here of the location, like you said, 200 yards approximately from the rooftop to where the impact happened. And then here's some pictures from the roof as well to kind of show that that's where he was.
He was perched. He planned. And you know what? One thing is that Charlie Kirk has security, obviously, and he knows these are big events. But there's a difference between rooftop, far away, Secret Service level security and the, hey, don't get too close, stay behind the barricade, we have local cops helping, nobody rush him security. So there is a difference there, in my mind at least, right?
There definitely is. And when it comes to how this happened and what exactly happened, I have some interesting tweets here I wanted to read.
First one is from Boatside Ranger. He says, the right is slowly starting to realize how serious the left is. There's no debating these people. They simply want you dead. You must emotionally govern these lunatics with a boot on their necks at all times. Anything short of that will quite literally get you and your family killed.
Which I think is real. And then we have another person, Julian's Rum, who commented about the 200-yard shot.
Yeah, saying the quote, 200 yards is an easy shot. Anyone could do it. And then he says, could anyone tactically avoid surveillance cams, set up a crow's nest on a university rooftop, take the shot, deploy a patsy, flee the rooftop, avoid surveillance again, and evade capture? You really think a deranged troon can? So that's kind of the point. There's a mix. So the shot maybe necessarily isn't that hard, but some of the craft that goes with it, the spy craft, whatever you want to call it, getting away, avoiding detection. And did he really avoid detection? We have FBI images of him. No, but it's kind of a mix there. The decoys is really the most compelling, weird shit that I've seen.
The decoys makes it very weird. And also, he wasn't looking to kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, it was a one shot, one and done, and then he gets away. Decoys distract, and then he really gets away, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You know, that's what made it seem like a real operation with multiple people. Even the fact that Charlie got shot during a question about trans mass shooters, that was interesting as well.
Yeah.
And we do have some online posts that were done the day before. This trans person posted, Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him, literally. Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. And this is the trans person who posted that.
Real masculine energy coming out of that picture.
Yeah. And then we have another picture that kind of looks like the picture the FBI released. High school photo of I think it's a trans, had a song called Charlie Kirk Dead at 31 on his SoundCloud. She, her pronouns on Facebook, lives in Salt Lake City metro area.
Yeah, from Ogden, Utah. And like a lot of people, this is kind of the leading 4chan / internet sleuth theory as of right now. We're obviously going to know more soon in relation to the manhunt. But the ATF also leaked to Steven Crowder that there were some trans and anti-fascist messages on the shell casings. So that's kind of where it's headed if you don't think it was a professional op, if you believe it was a lone gunman sort of theory. But yeah, this is one of those cases where you need to say allegedly, brother, because we're in that space right now.
Allegedly. And then can you read that other tweet from Trevor Scutfield?
Yeah. Of Ogden, Utah, had a music project called God's Finest Scalpel, and in April released a digital album called Death to American Scum, which included a track called Charlie Kirk's Death Isn't Enough for Me. So, I don't know. There's red flags, there's green flags, and there's glaring red flags.
Yeah.
And that definitely is one of them.
Very much a glaring red flag. And then he apparently also had a song on SoundCloud called Charlie Kirk Dead at 31, which has since been removed. This lead seems to have first been discovered by enterprising users of 4chan. So 4chan really got to work, as they always do. They're better than the FBI, in my opinion. You know, they're good at tracking stuff.
And well, you know what? They're not afraid to miss. They're not afraid to throw an idea out at the wall. The FBI's, well, then again, Kash Patel was like, we've apprehended someone. Never mind. We've apprehended someone. Never mind. So maybe I'm giving the FBI too much credit. But yeah, 4chan's really digging on the personal profiles. Etsy, they'll dig anywhere, you know?
Yes, exactly. And we're going to talk right now about some of the things that were leading up to this shooting and how the left has been radicalized by public figures and the media. We're just going to remind you guys of some of the stuff they've been talking about.
Yeah, a tweet from Fisher King says the left-wing mainstream media, as well as figures like Gavin Newsom claiming Trump plans to be a dictator, has created a climate of hysteria against right-wing figures that could radicalize any number of unstable people to engage in political violence. Pray Charlie Kirk is okay. That was obviously early on. And yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the climate here. We've been over a lot of this. The rhetoric has been insane. When you're talking about people in terms of Hitler or other various Nazi ranking generals and stuff, it starts to have a deep impact. And we have seen this escalate, especially Fleccas, starting as man on the street in 2015, 2016 era. Like, all of us have watched it go from like, we're not going to let you do a speech here. You know, we're not going to let you do a speech here. We're going to block the door. Now we're throwing milkshakes and eggs at you, and
now we're hitting you with the bike lock.
We're gonna hit you with the bike lock.
Now we're gonna swat you.
Swatting. Then we did, the Summer of Love with George Floyd, which kind of emboldened them more. We can get away with a lot more destruction without repercussions. The city of New York actually ended up paying out settlements to some of those rioters, and now it's all culminating with assassination attempts on Trump. A successful assassination of Charlie Kirk. And so we've watched the rhetoric go hand in hand with escalating tactics from the left. And this is nothing new to anybody who's been paying attention, right?
Yeah, very true.
And that's resulted in this headline, Assassination Culture. Half of left-leaning Americans say assassinating Trump, Musk, is justified.
Yeah.
That was from April of this year, and they polled a bunch of people. That's not a small number. Half of the left. That's a little less than a quarter of the country who's like, yeah, I don't like him, die. Mm-hmm. And it's escalated slowly. I mean, if you did that poll in 2015, it would be a lot less. And this constant reinforcement of Hitler, Nazi, whatever you want to say, it definitely had an impact, right?
It definitely did, especially the rhetoric in general from like left-wing influencer types and political types. Will Stancil has a bunch of bad ones. Can you give those a read?
Yeah, well, he's replying here and he goes, not even joking, no role for these people in society. We should just get rid of them and apologize later.
And we have another one.
This guy probably can't bench 135, guys.
He probably can't bench 100.
Yeah.
And it's like exactly the least physically capable people are calling for violence, but then they don't realize, and that's something that we're going to get to in a little bit.
One person's listening.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not going to go how you want. Like violent people are not you.
Yeah.
So it's like you're calling for violence and assassinations. Like once that gets opened and you open Pandora's box, you can't put it back in. And you're like some of the least physically capable people who don't have guns and don't have knowledge.
Yeah.
You're going to get kind of fucked up in that scenario.
A lot of our favorite leftists, too, the SSRI women, are really getting aggressive. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Here's another one from Will Stancil. He goes, so is there any reason Biden couldn't just drone strike Trump and end this?
Yeah. He's a tough guy.
Not even subtle. He said America isn't safe until Republicans no longer exist. Can't entrust any part of the nation to this den of thieves and liars. So we just used him as an example because he really said it stupidly. People like Hassan Piker, Destiny, a lot of those guys, they have a little bit of grace with hyperbole, but I saw some clips of Hassan being like, you need to gut them, spill their guts out. It's like, activated, sir, one of his leftist comrades. It's crazy. And then it all culminated with Luigi Mangione. We had never seen anything like this before, where they make him a saint. They were pretty universally celebrating him. And I think the left is fully leaning into assassination and political violence, which is terrorism, right? Terrorism, by definition, is using violence as means of a political end, right?
Yeah. And keep in mind, they tried to assassinate Trump twice. They tried to kill Nick Fuentes. Remember the guy went to his house and got killed by the cops?
Of course.
And then they killed the United Health CEO. So there's like this culture, coming together in the left where they think it's cool. They think it's funny. They think it's like deserved. And I think everyone's so desensitized from what they see on their phone that you're not even realizing what you're saying. And like, these are real people.
Yeah, you saw all the Charlie Kirk content on your phone during the election, and then ultimately you see him assassinated, and then it's your time to make a snark reply. You got to get cute and say something. And you're really dehumanizing this whole situation. The guy's a father of two, like young kids, widowed wife now. Horrible, real rat, greasy shit.
And we have another article, When Must We Kill Them? That was written by someone named Nicholas Decker.
Yeah, we covered this when it first came out. Just some twink. When must we kill them?
Some literal gay twink.
And someone listened. Mehdi Hassan, a real certain type. He said Charlie Kirk and TPUSA are fueled by far-right extremism. Writes a whole article about that.
And when you keep reiterating that message, they're Nazis, they're extremists, they're dictators, it riles certain people up that'll go act on it, but then it also makes people react in not the correct way when something like this happens, where they go, oh, he was a Nazi.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people like D.L. Hewley and those guys, they're saying, well, like, this is a reaction to the crazy shit he used to say.
Yeah,
and
like he's against
Kai
gay
Sennett
marriage.
too? Or is that iSpeed?
Kai Sennett.
Kai Sennett said, oh, yeah, he's the one with the crazy takes, right? And it's like, name one of his takes.
That's what I'm saying. It all gets laundered. You are labeled a certain thing by the left-wing media, and then nobody's actually in there listening to what you have to say point by point.
Yeah.
You just kind of have like a vague association, like, hey, that guy's with the people I don't like because I was vaguely told why I don't like him.
Oh, he's got those crazy takes. And it's like, name a take.
Yeah,
That's
a Nazi.
crazy. Mm-hmm. Hassan also, chipped into this.
Absolutely vile racist rhetoric. These people are trying to survive. They're not invading about migrants. And Charlie Kirk openly says they're shifting the demographics away from white people. Literal Nazi rhetoric. Also literal truth that happened.
Exactly what happened. And Charlie Kirk even predicted things getting to this level. Listen to what he said.
At the core of the left, at the core of a liberal, is someone that would use the sword if they had it. They are very violent people at their core. They always have been. They can't debate. They can't have conversation. So they'll resort to these tactics. They're going to do everything they possibly can to try to murder this movement because they can't beat us. So they're going to try to take weapons. And no, we're very aware of that. I'm aware of it. We have to have full-time security. This is not a joke. This is who these people are.
Crazy.
Yeah. Dark.
And then we also have, as you guys remember, we'll just play it kind of in the background. We have all these New Yorker Magazine, Time Magazine, all these articles and headlines and covers of them making Trump to be a Nazi or Hitler or whatever.
Beheading the Statue of Liberty, literally Hitler, which, come on. You're not even trying.
Not even trying.
Doing the salute, the Roman salute, all that. So, yeah, I mean, rhetoric has been leading up, and then we've watched it. Like I said at the beginning, we've watched the rhetoric and then the tactics progress over 10 years. And these people are sick, they're psychos. And they're boiling with rage, and then they're unsuccessful in some way or fucked up in some way. And then one of them does it. One of them does something, right?
Yep. And then in our next segment, we're going to talk about the media's reaction to this, from the initial reports all the way to how they're framing it. Can you read that New Republic headline?
Yeah, the far right is already blaming the left for Charlie Kirk's shooting.
Like, who else could it be?
Yeah, I don't even have a funny answer for that. It's the left. It's the left, and then we're about to have a section about the reaction from it. And I don't want to spoil it or get ahead of it because we'll take it piece by piece, but based on the way people reacted online and celebrated and posted on Facebook, the left is in here. The left is with it. They're okay with it.
And then we have a news site, I believe it's MSNBC, and listen to how they initially described the shooting.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea.
Yeah, a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration.
It's like if you even say that sentence, your instincts are like the worst instincts on earth, and you should be off the TV screen. You should never be on again. Why would you even say something like that? You're a fucking retard.
Yeah. And then TMZ, the staff was cheering when Charlie Kirk was pronounced dead. After this, they said that wasn't what it was. They were reacting to something else, but it's simultaneous, and I don't believe how they tried to lie about it.
Janet, go to have somebody look at the Fox.
So you heard it there. They're cheering, they're clapping in the back, wahoo! And they later said that it was for a police chase, and they kind of denied it.
But it was at the same exact time they found out he was dead.
And I don't believe him. And that's part of the thing with the media reaction and then the leftists on Twitter, like an Ilhan Omar type or Zohran Mamdani, and they all post some thoughtful pre-canned, PC like, oh, no one should have to deal with this. It's like, I don't fucking believe you.
I don't believe him.
I don't believe you, TMZ. I don't believe you. And we're going to show you in a second why we don't believe them based on the reaction of other people.
And here is BBC's initial reaction.
It is a really shocking moment, and I was thinking, I've never shared a Trump post in my life. I will contemplate sharing this one. But what I will say with a caveat, he wasn't admired and loved by all. So that's an exaggeration, but the truth is, it doesn't matter.
A fat black BLM woman said that.
Yeah, BBC. Let me just fact check you really quick. He wasn't beloved. Like, these instincts, these people, what do you imagine their true beliefs are if they can't even hold it in and be professional for a second, right? It's kind of like an indication of the deeper things, like the demon. Got to say something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It could have been a supporter. He wasn't loved by all. Like, they can't even just put on a face and be like a
professional. Yeah,
person breaking news, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah, Stephen King.
Yeah, Stephen King, same thing.
The motivation of the man who shot Charlie Kirk isn't clear. All right, buddy. I'm not going to even read the rest.
Yeah, and he talks about gun violence. And then when it comes to Wikipedia and how this moment in history is being written about and framed, we have the murder of George Floyd, the killing of Irina Zarutska, shooting of Charlie Kirk. And it's like the opposite. It's an assassination, it's a murder, and then it's George Floyd died because he tried to hide the drugs by eating them before he got arrested.
Yep.
And one of my least favorite moments from this whole last few days, obviously there's a lot of them, after Charlie was shot, before he was pronounced dead, Rabbi Shmuley released this. Today, as we witness yet another attempt to silence pro-Israel voices, we are reminded of the constant threats facing Rabbi Shmuley. For years, he stood by boldly defending Israel and the Jewish people, blah, blah, blah. And he released a fundraiser for himself.
GoFundMe for Rabbi
Charlie Kirk gets shot. He's on the way to the hospital.
They're trying to kill Jews.
And then you got to donate money to Rabbi Shmuley.
Crazy.
That was fucked up.
Yeah.
That was probably, I don't want to say my least favorite moment, but
leaves a bad taste.
That was bad. Yeah. Next, we have leftists. This is our leftist celebrating section.
Yeah.
So first, we have this guy in the tie-dye shirt holding up a sign.
Charlie Kirk shot, hell yes, poorly, sloppily written, a fat idiot on the streets of Seattle holding that up for no reason. That's pretty normal, right? If you're a left-leaning freak, that's pretty normal. That's what he's been taught. That's like kind of the rhetoric. Hey, a Nazi got killed. I hate Nazis. That's my enemy. I'm a freak, retarded person, right?
Yeah.
So of course he did it.
But he's also, like we said earlier, one of the least physically capable people of violence or defending himself, and then he goes out with that message.
Well, that should show you how much it's one-sided, right? Like this guy doesn't fear any sort of right-wing backlash. Even one random right-wing person walking by him, push him down, punch him. He's safe. We can kill Charlie Kirk. I say we, the left. And you can't, I won't even get touched for inciting something, right?
Then they had initial reactions from kids on campus.
Charlie Kirk got shot and killed. How do you feel?
Happy. Goodbye.
Wow. Did you see that Charlie Kirk just got shot and killed?
That's good.
Wow. That's good. That's good that people are getting shot just off a political view. Good that people are dying in America.
Did you see that Charlie Kirk got shot and killed today?
Yes, I did.
How do you feel about that?
I don't really have any feelings about it. Who are you?
Charlie Kirk got shot and killed today. We're just getting people's opinions. How do you feel about that?
Girl, someone had to do it. And that's how I feel.
So you get all these reactions.
They think they're cute. They think it's witty. They think like, I'll speak in a meme. And then you press them a little bit and they're like, wait, I am a scumbag.
Yeah.
And these are college kids, whatever. They're going to make some mistakes, but it's pretty universal. These leftists are all kind of like, oh, here's my chance to say a meme or do something cute or make a quip, right?
And they're all
two kids just lost their father, like a political assassination on American soil, like a very popular figure, right?
Yeah.
And everyone needs to say their little piece.
And they're all like brain fried from birth control and SSRIs, and they doom scroll online all day, and it's just like they're so desensitized, and humanity's just been removed from them.
Yeah.
And then we have some tweets here. Thoughts and prayers, you Nazi bitch.
Hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk. And this was like a person who worked at DC Comics. That was a person who has since been fired.
Yeah.
Here's another one, a compilation. Do we even want to play this? It's music, right?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of people. We'll play through it fast, but it's just people reacting and laughing and happy because Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Yeah. Classy stuff.
Real bad. And then we have another, same thing here. The guy with the face tattoos, the fat pig.
Fat pig with the weird piercings and the tattoos.
And the stupid haircut, and no one likes her.
Dumb piercings. And, these are some of the people you'd expect. The visible, outwardly presenting freak leftists, right?
Yeah.
The people we've covered day in and day out on Cringe of the Week for the past couple of years at this point. It's expected. These are the people who do that. We know they're ghouls. And we know they're going to celebrate something like this. They're pro-political violence. You've known some of those since 2016, the early days of your Man on the Street videos. I remember a guy saying, he's like, no, I'm for political violence. And you're like, you for political violence?
Yeah. It was at a Michael.
Sure you want to say that on camera?
It was at a Michael Knowles speech, and he goes, yeah, I'm for political violence. And I said, you think if something happens to Michael Knowles, that'd be okay? And he goes, well, I understand it. I'm not going to say I want it to happen, but I understand it. And I said, do you know who Michael Knowles even is? Like, if you looked in the room, would you recognize him? And he said, no, he's never seen him before.
He goes, I'd assume he'd be the one on stage. That's who the level of these people we're dealing with. And we know what they look like, right? Those freaks. Here's another one. This is kind of the middle-aged mommy, SSRI, birth control fried people. Let's let her say her piece.
I heard someone got shot today. I had a tummy ache this morning. Stay alive out there.
And they have like these, like, they think it's like quippy TikTok.
It's a meme. It's all for social media. Like, I'll take a bite and then I hit my line. Stay safe out there. And this is the kind of like, again, least physically capable, a middle-aged woman. Stay safe out there.
With stupid glasses. Do you know what would happen if violence broke out and it was right versus left violence? Do you know what happens to you in that?
Nothing good, and I won't even verbalize what
we
happens
can't
to
even
them.
verbalize it, but women aren't really on the front lines doing stuff.
And yet they're on the front lines reacting positively to this, which is an interesting tell, right?
And it happens on the right wing too, and a lot of the women on the right wing are saying like, this means war, and you don't know what's going to happen, like you're not going to like what happens next. You're not really the arbiters of when we go to war. You're a girl.
Yeah, there are some high-level operators out there who are ready to do something, but even they aren't going to go out and just randomly do war.
But then you have girls saying, like, this means war. Yeah. You're not going to like what's coming. And it's like, you're a girl who can't do a pull-up.
Yeah.
You're not going to really tell people when it's time to go to war. And, like, war and violence and chaos is a very ugly scenario that we do not want. I know it sounds tough to go, yeah, it's wartime. Let's handle this. I know it sounds tough to say that, but the reality of that is not what you actually want. Everybody, trust me.
Yeah, you want a functioning society where people face consequences for terroristic threats or supporting that. You don't want total anarchy.
Yeah.
Especially the fat women, especially the people who who aren't even sophomores in college with 6 piercings and 30% body fat, right?
Yeah.
That's not what, actually 30% body fat might come in handy because you're going to be cowering in a basement for like months.
Yeah.
And then once that ends out, you can kind of walk around and hopefully there's some clean water.
Lose weight.
Yeah.
And then this guy had a reaction. I believe this is in LA.
Read it. Sick. Do you support his death?
I do.
You support his death?
Fuck Charlie Kirk.
You support Charlie Kirk being killed?
Yes, I do.
On the day he died, you're here at a vigil for Charlie Kirk and you support his death.
Do you support a Nazi?
No, I don't support a Nazi. Charlie Kirk wasn't a Nazi. You support his shooter?
Yep, sure do. Free him.
You support Charlie Kirk's shooter?
Sure do. He does all a favor.
Would you shoot somebody like Charlie Kirk?
I would have killed him myself.
You would have killed him yourself.
You know, he's a Nazi. You supported a Nazi?
And that's what they truly believe. He's a Nazi, and so anything done against a Nazi had to be done. I would have done it myself. And you're the bucket hat TikTok guy. You're not really anybody.
You're a pussy.
And your Twitter profile's private now. These people are all kind of like, hiding from it now.
And keep in mind, Charlie Kirk wasn't an extremist.
Yeah, he was a completely rational guy who was like in line with the GOP, who was really good at getting young kids to kind of be politically engaged.
Yeah.
He became like the guy for entry-level, younger Gen Z.
He replaced Ben Shapiro as that.
That's what I think as well. It used to be earlier days in the Republican game, people would go to Ben Shapiro and be like, wow, yeah, this guy's kind of autistic, but he's spitting.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie Kirk basically replaced that. They love him on college campuses. And that's why a lot of these people are happy, gloating, celebrating, is because they silenced an extremely effective guy who was like a 5-star general, you know? And they have emotional reactions to that because they kind of have a dream of silencing him or winning a debate, and they think that this counts as that to an extent.
I saw a tweet I thought was interesting. Yesterday was 9/11. They said if 9/11 happened today, half the country would celebrate it.
Yeah, totally. It's Palestinian people. You've seen New York, what it's up to. It's a changed country, and it changed fast. The slippery slope, slick as hell.
It's an unrecognizable country. We have this woman who's a retard as well.
Maybe Charlie Kirk shouldn't have spent years being a hateful, demagogic fascist, and this wouldn't have happened. Maybe he should take some personal responsibility. Fuck these people. I do not care. They have grifted tirelessly for years to tear this country apart, make everything worse, and put us all in danger. I'm not going to keep reading. That's the general gist of it.
But the idea of tear this country apart, and the guy literally had like a change my mind tent. And if you disagree with me, come to the front of the line. We can talk this out and let the best idea win.
Yeah.
He wasn't an extremist. People are commenting on posts like, haha, now your children have no father.
Yeah.
Real sick fucks.
Mm-hmm. And
then we have this woman.
Yeah.
He was shot because we don't have food in our fridge. He was shot because our co-workers of color are being incarcerated and sent back to their country for no reason. He was shot because we don't have health care.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that's what we've come to expect when it comes to people reacting to this assassination. Of course, you're going to have people cheering on who are on SSRIs and they have their brain fried from birth control, the fat person, the trans person, the black woman with a bald haircut. That's nothing new. Like, that's expected. But what I was surprised about was that there were a lot of professionals and like normal people in society that were also jumping in on this.
People who could be your neighbor. Right?
Yeah, people could be your neighbor or your doctor. This guy was a Fort Bragg public affairs officer. We have a high school art teacher.
One Nazi down, he said, teaching your kids.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have another teacher here. We have a fire department chief. This person works at Microsoft and Oracle.
Good job, soldier, he said. This woman was a pediatric resident. She couldn't contain herself. Educated people, you know the types of people like this. This guy, a physician in Texas, said, saving this for Trump, but might do a little shot for my boy Charlie tonight. And he's got a bottle of expensive whiskey that says, he's dead, you know who, in parentheses. Another registered nurse. We saw tons and tons of teachers, government employees, firefighters, paramedics, nurses, people who kind of show that there's the assassination culture, this political violence culture really is seeping into people who you might be over at your house for Thanksgiving one random year. You might be talking to them from across the fence in your backyard. A lot of these people who want you dead. Right?
Yeah. And there's a cycle to it. They incite the violence with inflammatory rhetoric. They call you Nazis. They call you an extremist. An extremist does the deed and shoots you or tries to kill you.
One guy takes it to heart.
And then they celebrate it.
Yeah.
And this is actually another example here. The EU, they tried to have a moment of silence for Charlie, and the people interrupted it, wouldn't do it. So it's getting ugly out there.
Yeah, man. Doctors, nurses, normal people. And if you looked at any of the comments, negative comments about it, they were getting 100,000 likes, people getting their jokes in. And it just kind of shows we're in a new world. These people don't see you as human. If they even knew half of your political beliefs, if you're watching this show, they'd go, fuck that guy. He's a Nazi. Want him dead, right? And it's just kind of it's a reminder of where we're at in this thing. And these people laugh about it. I saw videos of kids kind of sharing it in a classroom. They're in like an auditorium in college and they're like sharing it and they're like, oh, he was this, he was that, blah, blah, blah. And then a girl speaks out against it. Like, what are you guys doing? Celebrating? Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people too are social media wise, like blocking people, kind of realizing like, you're a sick fuck. You're dancing on his grave almost immediately. And Charlie Kirk committed no crimes. He argued in good faith. He never did anything wrong, was a father of 2 beautiful children, good husband, right? It's not like there was anything to like, well, but he did this. Well, but he did that. He did everything by the book. If he didn't, he would have been arrested under the Biden administration. And it's just very sick. These people, we're watching people on the left lose their humanity for it. And to get like a B- joke out on Twitter or Instagram? And shout out to the right-wingers who have gone, I've seen like libs of TikTok, mostly peaceful memes, are getting people fucking fired today. Yeah. This Panthers guy, Carolina Panthers, had to fire somebody. The team's communication department, Charlie Rock, he just looked like a fat, soft pussy too. You see you guys' picture. A lot of military people in uniform talking about this shit.
Yeah. There was a Secret Service agent who even posted about it, and I believe he's still working at the Secret Service. But the reaction is the key. Yeah. Remember what they did with George Floyd, who was like a career criminal, assaulted a pregnant woman, overdosed on fentanyl. They gave him multiple golden casket funerals, and they burned down cities to honor him. Yeah. And then Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, a good Christian man, good Christian leader, and that's who they cheer for. It's like they're literally demonic.
Backwards, upside down. Drug guy who put a gun to a pregnant woman's belly. He gets a gold casket. Charlie Kirk, I'm going to tweet a little quip. Yeah. See if I can't fucking twist the knife on him. Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. And then we have some of the rights reaction. You just rattle these off.
Yeah, Cremu said Charlie Kirk's tour was literally about his willingness to talk to anyone and to debate anything, and he was still shot. Discussion doesn't work with terrorists and other animals. Cernovich said Luigi was a shitlib with no training, and look what he did. What do people think a right-wing guy could do? Have any of these people thought this through? It's a nightmare for all of us. I like civilization. No amount of security can keep anyone safe. And I think that's an important point. Yeah. You know, the war, whatever. And that's not to say we don't want to see drastic action from the administration right now. We kind of have a window, right, to do something. And we want to see from the federal government hard crackdowns. I've heard people suggest using RICO on the left-wing money networks, the NGOs and the billionaires. It's really time to crack down because a lot of that shit that's enabled this sort of behavior, especially like what was the one in Minneapolis, the bail fund after the George Floyd, all that money, like you're conspiring with criminals. You're paying for bail for anyone who was on your side. Something needs to be done, and we'll see the reaction over the next few days. Trump was pissed. Charlie Kirk helped Trump get elected. Charlie Kirk was good friends with J.D. Vance.
He was great friends with Trump, too. Yeah. They've known each other for years.
And so, I mean, we're just at this point where something needs to be done, but you don't need to be doing anything, Just you need to stay mad, speak up on your beliefs, tell your shitty neighbor to fuck off, certain stuff like that. But we're not recommending anyone go crazy or anything, Mr. Nadler.
Yeah.
Cernovich said, we will not walk in fear, and we will also not let some radicalized boomer, no kings protester be the patsy. This was when that boomer was, I guess, getting arrested. It's left-wing billionaires who created this environment, those who fund dark money groups and agitprop media outlets. I totally agree. These people got whipped into a frenzy by someone above them. Mm-hmm. And some of them believe it, but a lot of people are just kind of in a constant state of like, being funded with dark money, political dark money. Mm-hmm. Oilfield Rando said, yes, we just assassinated one of your leading voices, but we really need to lower the temperature and come together and make sure we do absolutely nothing to dissuade our next radicalized shitlib from carrying out the next attack. That's pretty much what they want. They want to say, whoa, everybody calm down. Let's relax, take a step back. Somebody tweeted this, which I thought was interesting. Reminder from Eric Prince. Cut the head off the snake does not work. Enemies surrender when they lose 30% of their fighting power, not when they lose leaders. So it's okay to get low-level libs fired for their posts. Everyone counts towards total percentage needed.
I agree with that. And that's like a great way to non-violently push back is just anyone who's posting bad things about Charlie Kirk, celebrating his death, get him fired.
Email their boss. And people go, oh, I thought the right were against cancel culture. And it's like, yeah, but you guys never stopped. You did it for 10 years straight. And then you said freedom from speech or freedom of speech isn't freedom from consequences. You did that to us for 10 years straight. So maybe you should have thought about that. And you know what? When we were going through the normies who were doing this, I am so shocked at how many people write the most heinous shit from their full name on Facebook.com or their full name on Instagram with a bio that says, work here, do this. People really got they thought it was nothing. They thought that wasn't even a problem. Mm-hmm. They're living in such a delusional land and headspace that, I'll just tweet it from Austin.Fletcher@gmail.whatever your email address is. That isn't a real one. Here's what Matt Walsh said. The entire right has to band together. Enough of this infighting bullshit. We are up against demonic forces from the pit of hell. They're killing us in our churches. They tried to kill our president. They killed Charlie, one of our greatest advocates. Put the personal squabbles aside. Now's not the time. This is existential, a fight for our own existence and the existence of our country. And someone else said, quote tweeted that and said, now do you understand no enemies to the right? This is war and you don't stop fighting the enemy to deal with retards in your ranks being stupid. The left is an existential threat and we can't be distracted.
Yeah.
James Lindsay doesn't agree with that. He goes, I have to keep fighting people on the woke right.
Yeah. He thinks that he's the one that says, let's all calm down.
Yeah. Don't get angry. Don't let anything happen here.
They're literally killing us. Let's all calm down.
Yep. I think it's been a pretty good reaction from the right. People are mobilizing, getting people fucking fired, and we demand change. Something has to happen from the federal level. We have the office, we have Congress right now. We got to do something, right? Because it's getting out of hand. I'd like to see MSNBC kind of get, I don't know, lose a license, lose a
license. Yeah, don't make it too vague.
I don't know. But something does need to be done, and we'll see what happens in the coming days, right?
And I think Trump will do something.
He's angry. That's a personal friend of his. And that's what they wanted to do to Trump. They wanted to explode his head on national TV. Mm-hmm. So it's dark.
Yep. All right, we're entering into the final phase of the show. Obviously, this was a traumatic week. Horrible things happened. I am going to entertain a theory just because it's very weird and compelling. Harrison Smith from InfoWars a month ago on August 13th tweeted, I'm not going to name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. So it's not a conspiratorial thing. We're not going to go crazy and spiral with that. But to say, I fear for my life, and then to die a month later, you can't not talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then can you read this long paragraph?
Yeah. Just days before he was assassinated, Charlie Kirk went on air and named secular Jews as the largest funders of neoliberal Marxism and open border policies, which collectively amount to civilizational suicide. We have John Solomon reporting tonight that some initial leads into the investigation of his assassination may point to foreign intelligence. We have a FBI Utah field office representative responding with no comment when he was asked whether or not the emerging information on the slaying indicated involvement by intelligence services. We have a former FBI agent on Fox News just hours after the killing claiming it shows hallmarks of a professional hit. We have a black-clad rooftop sniper videoed fleeing the scene who had a predetermined escape route and was miraculously able to evade campus security, local police officers, and hundreds of hurt, scared, and angry people also fleeing the scene. The shooter also managed to kill Mr. Kirk at 200 plus yards with a cross breeze and noonday sun glare, using one single shot and striking Mr. Kirk in one of the only locations on the frontal torso that would not have been protected had he been wearing Kevlar body armor. We have decoy suspects placed strategically at the scene to bog down law enforcement, quick response capabilities at the start of kinetic events. We have Bibi Netanyahu, the prime minister for a foreign nation currently at war, posting his sympathies about Charlie's death literally minutes after it happened. We have the FBI now asking the public through their new online tip form for help finding and identifying the assassin. FBI Director Kash Patel is scheduled to testify to Congress only 7 days from today on 9/17 about Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein has long been regarded as a potential mole for the state of Israel through his relationship to Ghislaine Maxwell and her late father, Robert, who was publicly proclaimed Mossad agent.
So there is that theory. Obviously, I don't want to do it in poor taste. Like Charlie Kirk was my friend. He helped me so much get started in this movement. He led the way for so many people who started through Turning Point, that pipeline. But to have someone tweet a month ago that he fears for his life if he turns on Israel's crazy. And then he also recently named Epstein as a Mossad agent. So stuff like that, you guys might not see it as tasteful, but I just want to put that information out there because I feel like that is important information. And if it's nothing, it's nothing. But that seems pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, definitely. The timing is suspicious for sure. And we'll see. Also, the whole guy getting away. And then, if you were running an op, wouldn't you just write some trans and fascist shit? Be like, I'm blaming the trans.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little tough right now. It's still early.
And a random trans shooter type.
I'll read it, but
Yeah, the random trans shooter types too, those types don't really have an exit plan. They kind of just assume they're going to do it and then get killed by the cops after.
Yeah.
So the fact that there was an exit is insane.
Yeah. Broadly speaking, though, I think the main point of this whole episode, Charlie was a warrior. He was a genuinely good guy. He did honest groundwork for Gen Z, young guys, really actually moved the needle, went across the aisle too, wasn't afraid to go on other people's shows. And watching the average, everyday leftist just shit on him and react in such a strange, negative, gross way is the biggest takeaway. These people are among you, they're your neighbors, they're teaching your sons and daughters. The amount of teachers in this whole online list of, was this you, the doxing and stuff, was unbelievable, the amount of teachers.
Yeah.
So the reaction is America's in a bad spot with people who got really fucking one-sided brainwashed, ugly. Father of two,
Mm-hmm.
So recognize where we're at, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to end the show with a powerful clip from Charlie. He is asked in this interview how he wants to be remembered, and this is what he said.
You want to be remembered. I mean, if I die, everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith.
Powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the episode. It was a tough one, guys. Sorry it isn't the normal episode. Obviously, with everything going on, it had to be this.
Not a lot of funny haha bits.
Yeah, no bits
from the
today.
boys, but we'll be back. We'll be back soon with some funny ha-has.
We will. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. God bless him. God bless his family, children. Very sad day. We will see you guys on Tuesday.